What's going on? Oh, come on now. Really? This is how it's going to look. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, you're going to have my head cut off. It's your favorite dating coach. It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott. And as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about if a guy pulls away, does that mean he did not like you in the first place, okay? Now, before we get started, if you can, please subscribe. I'll love you forever. Just click the red button below. Also, if you want to get a session with yours truly and or check out my guide's description below, okay? Just click the description. You'll see it all in there, okay? So here's the thing. If a guy pulls away, does that mean he didn't like you to begin with? In my personal opinion, for the most part, right? A huge majority of the time, I would say no. Now, of course, there's guys who go in there with no intentions on dating you, who just want to hit and quit and things like that. But at the same time, a lot of men go into talking to a girl, whether you meet them online, Tinder, whatever, they go in. This is gonna drive me insane. Whatever. They go in without having the expectations of a relationship. Usually a relationship comes from it. It unfolds naturally. Like I said, a lot of the times a guy will be talking to a girl, then he'll hang out with her next time, then he'll hang out the time after that, and he realizes, okay, this girl's really cool. I want a relationship with her. That's how it kind of comes about, right? He doesn't go in with the idea of wanting a relationship. Now, with that being said, when a guy pulls away, it's not because he didn't like you. It's because he got involved and realized something was wrong, okay? And most of the time, trust me on this, most of the time, it's pressure. When a guy goes in, he's talking to a girl and he feels the pressure of a relationship. And again, ladies, trust me on this. A lot of the times I hear you say, well, how am I pressuring him? He's the one initiating. Or you'll say, I don't bring up the title. I don't bring up the talk. We don't have that discussion and things like that. But it's not about what you say. It's how you come off. A lot of the times, guys can tell when a woman's super interested, super eager, her availability, right? He could just feel that pressure. And a guy, to diffuse it, he has to pull away. Okay? Because if he keeps on going with it, he's basically complying and saying, hey, I want the same thing as you, when he really doesn't, right? And that doesn't mean he dislikes you. It's just, sometimes it moves too fast and he freaks out and he doesn't know what to do about it, okay? So when the guy pulls away, it doesn't mean he dislikes you. There's just another turbulence in the force, right? That's usually what would happen. Now, what makes it worse is when a guy pulls away, the girl starts to do things maybe to ruin her chances that she doesn't realize are actually going on, or that she doesn't realize she's doing. So let me give you an example. A lot of guys or girls think, I hook up with a guy, after sex, he starts acting different, or he starts pulling away, right? So a lot of women would mess around with the guy, then they realize the guy's pulling away after. A lot of the times, the guy isn't actually pulling away because of sex. He's pulling away because of the vibe or the context after sex. So, again, let me give you a good example of this. I use this a lot with my clients. I think I used it in a previous. Oh shit. Okay. God dang it! This professionalism. Let me tell you. I think I used it in a different video. I talked about how if you and I, on its own, right? Let's just say you and I were dating and we were watching Netflix, right? We were dating, our thing was watching Netflix on the weekend and watching Game of Thrones, whatever it was, that's our thing. By itself, that's cool. But when you start blowing up my phone, when you start texting me a bunch, when you start wanting to see me all the time, that changes the context of everything. What I like I like what we had before. I thought it was cool. It was chill. But once you start adding all these other ingredients, it changes the dynamics. And usually sex does that. It's not that he just wanted sex, but again, there are guys who are out there who do want just sex. But sex obviously is a serious thing. So I always tell women, it's the stuff you do prior. So if you're blowing up his phone, you're hanging out all the time, you're texting all the time, you're wanting to see him all the time, he's taking that into consideration. And while that's okay on its own, after sex, you know how things are. It gets more serious. Sex is an intimate thing. So when you throw that into the bucket, it changes the context. Hey, everything can be red, right? But once you throw blue in there, it turns purple. That's what it's like, okay? Sex is blue. Sex is blue. Sex is blue. Throwing it in there, all the red, it turns into purple, okay? That's what usually happens. So what I'm trying to get at, and just trust me on this, I'm a guy, I read a lot about it, I talk to a lot of guys. Usually when a guy pulls away, it's not that he didn't like you to begin with. Something just happened and he has to pull away because of it. Doesn't make it right, but that does not mean he disliked you or that was his intentions all along, okay? So that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care and peace.